Welcome back to the JSFL. We're here after week 6. We're halfway through this season, and we are here with some week 6 um, rankings, matchups, and usual things you see on the podcast. We'll get into week 7 after this podcast on the Thursday night primetime game, which we'll get into later. But let's go with the recap till we start off. Thursday night football was the 0-5, now 1-5. Cleveland Pirates, yes, they did get their first dub of the season against the Charlotte Bats. That was a pretty good one. And Kendall Hastings, I think he did pretty well there. I think he got 3 touchdowns. And the Bats, they're not looking good. They just lost at home, I believe. Yes, it was at home to Cleveland. And that's not great. Cleveland has not been good. They're the worst in the league at takeaways. And they could not capitalize. The Bats just are not doing good. And I'm not liking Phillips. I think they're definitely probably going to go quarterback in this year's upcoming draft. College, they're also starting this week too, so that's going to be fun. We got East Eagles and South Falcons. They'll be coming up in East. We actually do have places where they're going to be this time. But yeah, East hosting South. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, South coming in to try to get back to the college championship. They won last year against it was North they won against. So we'll see how that goes. Then you got at the week on the 1 p.m. games we had LA Earthquake at Houston Enforcers. That game, we had our first special teams or first return touchdown at Nestor Hood. Oh my god, the punt team was terrible. The wind was really going down in Houston. And yeah. Nestor Hood, there was like a punt that the reason that it was a return touchdown, it was the wind. Like the punt really went anywhere. Nestor Hood came up and just ran by the defense. Pitched 3 yards to the house. So he got his first career touchdown, not even a receiving touchdown where he broke out of college. Probably one of the most disappointing players so far. And yeah. Houston lost ultimately to LA. Foster still throwing picks, it's a problem. I thought he got over it when I was looking earlier in stats, but at the college, how he went come back to haunt him, and that was why he was the last quarterback taken of the first 4, I think. Yes, I believe that's correct. Let me look. I can't even remember. I think he was taken 6 overall by LA. And he was the last starting quarterback of college to where I think he would have fell, but he's obviously not the best person in the class. So maybe if LA, if they don't get a quarterback in free agency, I don't think Foster's a long-term option. Maybe if they get behind Charlotte Bats in the draft, I could see them taking, well, one of the quarterbacks I've seen so far, I've seen them play in practice. Scott Harrison, looking very good. Very good field general quarterback. I mean, the other quarterbacks are good. Jerome Allen, he has promise. Jason Kidd, a good scrambler. But I don't know if I would take any of the other guys on the board. They're good, but I don't know if they're pretty much the same as Terry Foster. Jerome Allen's probably better field general. Not as good as accuracy, though. Jason Kidd, scrambler, but again, not that great at the deep ball. And you need a guy good in the deep ball in the JSFL with all those route runners, speedsters. I mean, Albert Moore, he's just going to be shouting at the moon if it's a quarterback that can't throw the deep ball. So yeah, that's a struggle. But at the other 1 p.m. game, it was the Fishers at the Businessmen. What a high-scoring game. And the Businessmen, they're starting to surprise me a little out the gate. Gurnett, he had a good game. He's starting to carve himself maybe into getting the top 10 for MVP. No way he's going to win the MVP this year unless he breaks out completely. Like 3 touchdowns a game or 300 yards per game. But Gurnett, he's starting to do good. I think he's definitely probably, I mean, maybe Atlanta gets in there. I don't think Charlotte's going to go to the postseason. It's between New York and Atlanta. I think New York has a pretty good shot at making the postseason. So, and the defense are playing pretty well. Just all balance for them, and they'll see if they can get the postseason. Then at the 4:15 p.m. game, you had the Predators at the Power. The Power winning this one 2 straight now. I think they have a bigger challenge kind of this week. They do a little bit. So yeah, they're rolling now with 2 straight wins. We'll see. His opponents will probably start to get a little harder and harder now for the Power. We'll see if they can keep that win streak going. Against Minneapolis right now for that North Division lead, and we'll see if they can get it. Then you had at the other 4:15 game, America's Game of the Week, the Natives at Musicians. This one went all the way to the Natives now. All the way to the Musicians. The Natives now on a 2-game loss streak. If I remember this one right, like I think Castles had a good game. He's starting to do good for himself too. Skies was okay. Current Poe. Oh yeah. I think Fred Williams went down this game. If I'm correct. I can't really remember. I can't even remember this game, and I commentated it. But yeah, it was a win for the Musicians nonetheless, and they are still on a good roll. We'll see how they keep going. Then we got at the Monday night prime time, we had the Kansas City win at the Phoenix Gila Monsters, 2 of the top contenders, seeing who can get that crown in this game and who will get. This is if the playoffs start today, who would get the bye. In Phoenix, they won. They're emerging as their former JSFL championship run contenders when they ran into the playoffs as a 6th seed and came out as the winners. Great job by Phoenix in this one. Not current Pope. Brian Tepps, what a game. He's shot up MVP race. He's definitely starting to heat up as the season continues. Trevor Washington and Esteban Silvestris, the 2 rookies, over 100 yards both for them. And then if you look at the Kansas City side, not too bad. They had an okay game, but they could not play and beat the PCO Monsters. So that's the Week 6 recap. Let's go. So getting that done, let's go into the power rankings. I've talked about old teams a little bit, so it probably won't take too long. Number 12, I got the Cleveland Pirates. Again, I have to go off rankings. They definitely wouldn't be the worst team. They'd be down there, but they're the only 1 of 5 team left, so they're number 12 in relocation status. Number 11, the Charlotte Bats. Again, not high in this team at all. I do not like Phillips. The defense is average. I think they need 1 more pass threat. Cornelius was good, but they needed to get 2 receivers in the draft, I think. There's some good receivers in this class, too. So I think they'll get 1, maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round. They definitely need to adjust that quarterback situation. I think even Jerome Allen or Jason Kidd would definitely be better than this guy. I don't know if I'd go down to Diego Mooney or Alfred Riddle. You'll see these guys this week, so you'll know what I'm talking about then. But you'll see them. Jason Kidd, he isn't even a starter. He's a backup to Chad Harrison. But yeah, if they can't get Chad Harrison, I would still go with Jerome Allen or Jason Kidd if they're still on the board. So yeah, that's how much I did not like Edward Phillips. At number 10, Houston Enforcers. They just look sloppy. That's all I can say, sloppy. Nestor Hood, he's looked not promising. I mean, he was great in college. He won the Heisman. But just not playing up to the next level. Can't do anything. He's just been contained, covered well. Everyone's pretty much covered him well. Let's look at his stats. 12 catches, 99 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a punt return. That's not good. He's average. That means he's averaged 2 catches a game, and that would probably be like 15 yards. So like 2 catches, 15 yards a game. That's just horrendous. If you get picked in the first round, first overall wide receiver, not good. And you look at a guy like Landon Dante, who's taken right after him, or even if you look at a guy like Raquel Hernandez, taken rounds after, even Esteban Silvestris. Let's look at Silvestris. 22 catches, 258 yards, and a touchdown. He was taken, like, I think in the 4th round or something. It wasn't. Let me look at Esteban Silvestris. He was taken. Okay. Esteban Silvestris taken. Gil Monsters. Oh, 2nd round. Bottom of the 2nd round. And he was taken. Nestor Hood taken middle of the 1st round, doing way worse than a guy taken at the last pick of the 2nd round. No, that's not acceptable. And I want to actually talk about this because it's an interesting topic. Warren Jones overall wise, is ranked one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But it's actually interesting because Terry Foster was ranked overall wise the best quarterback in his draft class, which he has not been. Um, and that makes me think it's Warren Jones' overall rating, not what he plays up to be. Because look at the Miami Wave; they had him, got relocated. I mean, they didn't have a run game to speak of, but the defense was electric last year. They're still showing signs of that, but not as great on the pass defense. Overall, wise, the defense is though pretty good, especially pass rush. But then in defense, I mean offense, Jones now with this Houston Fortress team was looking bright. It's not going well. Um, let's look at his stats now, because I'm actually curious. 111 completions out of 156 attempts, so not bad on completion status. 1,007 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's not good, and 4 picks. To 4 picks, um, no rushing stats to speak of. Yeah, I don't know. He's not playing well. He has weapons. I mean, he's got Von Peters. Nestor Hood's supposed to be great. I mean, I know Bobby Murphy's injured, but he's coming back actually this week, so it's good for them. And Jay Haynes isn't even that bad either, so I don't know what the heck's happening here in Houston, but they need to get going if they have any chance postseason. I know they started 2-4 last year, and actually almost did make the playoffs, but they didn't. So they gotta like win almost every game to get to the postseason now. It's gonna be a hard run for Houston to try to make here. Going on to the next one, we got at number 9, Atlanta Predators. Yeah, they haven't played the best ball. I mean, middle of the pack, lower at the pack. That's why I see the team placing. Sometimes one week they'll show you flashes that they're great, and then the next week they'll just play like complete garbage. I'm on this team, and um, defense plays pretty well. Offense, lights off, lights on. Depends on the day, I guess. Same with the defense, you could say. Really, the secondary's been roasted. Um, Linebackers inexperienced. Besides Dan Marino, he's played great. Um, Pass rush again, one of the best. But yeah, I don't know. This defense. I mean, this team looks great overall, but maybe developing will help because Payne Wettis, one of the probably one of the best or one of the best players in the league, and he just shows it. And he's so young, only his second year. I mean, quarterback Trent Hudson, he'll probably emerge into maybe like a Michael Vick of the NFL or the Michael Vick's NFL to Trent Hudson, maybe Jay Spell. I don't know. Could be a comparison maybe if he develops great. That rookie of the year would help him a lot. And then you got number 8 is the LA Earthquake. The worst 3 team in my opinion. I mean, you won, but it was against a sloppy Houston Enforcers team, and I don't think they won by that much. It was really an off and on game. Punting could not get anywhere because of the wind. Not much to say. I've said a lot about them already. We're on to number 7. It is the Detroit Power. They're on a 2-game win streak again against not the greatest of opponents. They beat Minneapolis. They beat Cleveland. They've beat Atlanta. So, all teams not even in the top 6. Nope, not even in the top 5. So, yeah. That's my take on the Detroit Power. My last favorite team. Number 6, Minneapolis Fishers. Lost to New York. New York, I think, is playing a little ball, so some pretty good ball, so I gave them some slack. But that's 2 losses in a row now, I believe. Nope, that isn't. That's the first loss in a row. So not in a row. But yeah, Minneapolis, middle of the pack team. Action. I mean, he's kind of underrated. He's played solid. Not too many touchdowns, but you can't complain. He's not throwing that many picks either. Looking like almost a Seth Skies kind of replica. I don't know. But Seth Skies knows how to throw touchdowns. I mean, Tony Jefferson has the weapons. He just sometimes can't get the ball into the end zone. So I don't know what's going on there. I think you maybe wait out 1 or 2 years after this because Jefferson doesn't look like a terrible quarterback to me. And how the Fishers are playing right now, they're probably not going to be so low that they're going to get the best quarterback in the class. I mean, I'd take Harrison over Jefferson if they got like the number 1 pick, but they're not going to get the number 1 pick. I don't think they're going to drop to that bad. The worst pick I see them getting is 4th. So that being the best pick. So it would be 4th. I think the Fishers are a pretty good team. They'll probably, I don't know if they'll make postseason. We'll have to see how them and the Power battle it out. I know the Power beat them um previously, so let's see how they fare up against that in the next time, but we'll see. Number 5, New York Businessmen. This team keeps climbing up my power rankings. I like them. I think they're starting to heat up a little bit. Gurnett really using the limited options he has. I mean, Eugene Green's he's great, but he's using Sam Johnson greatly. Eric Ward, he's giving catches. Austin Myers, he's starting to get into the game plan. Trey Jackson, heck, he's making plays. I mean, even Victor Rhodes, like I think I remember watching that they were winding out the clock and just a long bomb from Gurnett to Rhodes. He needs to work in his deep back too, though. That's one knock I do have on him. I mean, he's an okay quarterback. I think he might evolve into an okay quarterback. Not going to be no current Poe, John Richardson, or anything, but he's okay. Maybe they're a long term option. We'll have to see how he plays. But yeah, New York, I like them, and the defense is great too. Number 4, I got Seattle losing 2 straight now. I do like this team. I'm not going to put New York above them. I was close to doing it, but maybe this week will influence on, well, it will influence on what I do. A little foreshadow for you. But current Poe, not having Fred Williams kind of hurt him. Defense has been playing a little worse recently, but they've been playing good teams. So I think if they play a few bad teams, maybe they'll bounce back a little bit because schedule does go off like how you've been doing in the last few weeks. So I usually try to do good matchups that everyone would enjoy. I think, unless it doesn't fit in with schedule. I need to have some matchups. Like I need to do 2 divisionals a year. I try my best to schedule it. But yeah, we'll see how they do. Number 3 is the Kansas City Wind, losing to LA in a sour defeat. But this team, when they were 3-0, I had a lot of knocks on them. Now that they're 1-2 in their last couple games, they haven't been necessarily that bad at games. I think they're an okay team. I'm not. I think they will definitely make the postseason as a wild card, 5 or 6. I think they will. I'm not sure if they will make it that far, but I think this team can definitely be built for the future. Shooter, I was high on him at the beginning of the year, but he does have a lot of weapons that kind of carry him. But now he's 7 touchdowns, 7 picks, not even the highest in yards anymore. He's starting to show his true colors. And again, if I don't know if they're gonna go with a new quarterback, but I say if Jerome Allen's on the board, take him. I don't know. Maybe he'll involved in something. If he gets rookie of the year, don't just if he actually starts to show up, keep him around because I think he will develop then. But if not, maybe go for Jason Kidd, Jerome Allen. That's what I would go with. Now we got the number 2. It's a close one, but I'm going New Orleans. They did beat Seattle, and that is a good team to fight. But the way Phoenix has looked, New Orleans, they've looked good. Phoenix, electric. So I gotta put New Orleans at number 2. Solid football team, love them. But number 1 is the Phoenix Steel Monsters. They're electric. Tep's looking like an MVP. Joke's still on fire. He's doing great. I mean, the 2 rookies, they just went off on Monday night. Hank Hoop can find the end zone. He's their guy. Jake Reed, he since Chet Wood was switched for Jake Reed, he's a lot quicker than Chet Wood. He can draw a lot more attention, so an attention drawer also catches sometimes the rock. Offense is great. Defense playing lights out football sometimes, with Byron Baxter taking out the number 1 option most of the time. I mean, I don't think Eric Fitzgerald had many catches till the 4th quarter. Even Carlos Young, his partner in crime, kind of limited Tracy Davis. Actually, I think he had a decent game. But yeah, besides that, love this team. They can put pressure on, even though they're not. I think that never mind. I think they're the worst team in the league at pressure. But yeah, the defense is pretty solid. I think if they can put pressure on in this offseason, oh geez, this. You think this team's electric now? I could see a 12-0 season for the Phoenix Steel with pressure. Offense, they're so young. They're just going to keep developing into something better. But the defense, that's the side they need to work on for the offseason. Talking about all these players, well, before we do that, actually, I want to get into the playoff picture. Relocation stats, Cleveland Pirates 1-5. In the hunt, number 2 in the hunt is LA Earthquake, 3-3. Number 1 is Detroit Power, 3-3. And now getting to the actual playoff pictures that they were starting. 6th seed is Seattle Natives. 5th seed, Kansas City Wind. 4th seed is the Minneapolis Pitchers. 3rd seed, New York Businessmen. 2nd seed, New Orleans Musicians. 1st seed, Phoenix Monsters. Let's get into the MVP race. Number 10 is Sean Richardson of the Detroit Power. Looking pretty good in these last 2 games, and we'll see if he can continue. Number 9, I would go over their stats, but I'm not going to for sake of the video being too long. I try to make it like 30 minutes. Number 9, Ross Williams, one of the LA Earthquake. He did have a rough streak, but he is starting to get a lot better, or a little better, I should say. And he did play pretty well against one of the best defensive rushing attacks, defensive rush stoppers in the league. I think that still might be best. Number 8 is Kermit Poe of the Seattle Natives, falling off a lot, I guess, but he hasn't looked electric in these last 2 games, and he needs to pick it up. We'll see if he can. Number 7, standing number 7 is Owen Castles, doing great things for New Orleans. Started a slow season at the beginning, but he's starting to heat up. Number 6 is Julio Jokes, just great for the Phoenix. He didn't have the best game 2 weeks ago, but he's been playing really good teams, so it is understandable. I'm trying to find something for the Phoenix Monsters going to be challenged. They keep beating everyone, so see. Number 5 is Seth Skies of the New Orleans Musicians. Hasn't looked the best in these last 2 weeks, kind of like Kermit Poe, but he is staying up there with some pretty good games. Number 4 is Joey Adams of the Charlotte Bats. I haven't liked the Charlotte Bats team, but one person that has always been great and you can always count on is Joey Adams, that running back for Charlotte. Just a complete game changer. And I think if they didn't have Joey Adams, they would definitely be in relocation status because that mediocre defense and not that great a pass up game is not going to bring you anywhere. So Joey Adams, he single-handedly carries his team a lot. 3 is Brian Tepps. I mean, he went off. He was electric in that game, just amazing. And he just shot up the MVP race. I thought he'd maybe be on the ice. Oh God. I thought he might be on the MVP race, maybe right outside of it. But yeah, I did not expect that. 4 passing touchdowns and good yards, and he's starting to make a name for the MVP race. Number 2 is Taylor Little of the Detroit Power, former MVP. He was MVP last year, looking for it once again. And him and Willie Rogers neck for neck. He is number 1 in the MVP race right now. Halfway through the season, can he keep it up for a little more? But Taylor Little has been tracking down. He's been destroying defenses. But again, these defenses they have played haven't been the best. So if he comes up to a good one, which he probably will now that the Power are heating up, it might be hard for Little to stay in contention with Willie Rogers, who's number 1. As I said before, touchdowns. He has 10 on the season. He's great. Looking like how Taylor Little did last year. Just insane numbers. Just great team for Kansas City, which just gives them another weapon. So that is it for the MVP race. Now we go into offense and defense tops. Quarterback tops. Completions. Tony Jackson, 144. That is the one thing he does. But I don't know why he doesn't have that many touchdowns though. But he doesn't have any interceptions either. But attempts, Kendall Hastings with 203 yards. Terry Foster, 1,522, taking over the other rookie Kyle Shooter spot. Touchdowns, Seth Skies, and Terry Foster with 11. That does one thing he's good in, but I don't like how many interceptions he throws. And now he leads the league in interceptions above Kendall Hastings with 9. I think Kendall Hastings, if he can start to do better this week, and I'd say even if he were to get the team to 4-8, I would be okay with keeping him for another season. He's so good in the deep ball. Maybe if he can develop, he will actually can help that team. So I think keep him if he gets to 4-12. If he doesn't get more than 3 more wins this season, I'd just say, I don't know. Hopefully they can do something for agency. I don't know. I think Kendall Hastings might want to give one more season. Then after that, you got halfback tops. Attempts is Taylor Little and Frank Jog at 123 yards. Willie Rogers at 699. Touchdowns, Willie Rogers 10. Broken tackles, Taylor Little at 34. So those two, again, going hand for hand in pretty much every category. Wide receiver tight end tops. Receptions, Son Larson and Danny Edwards at 37. Yards, Albert Moore, 505, had a really good game last week, or this week. No, last week I should say. Touchdowns, Warren Bishop, the backup tight end 6. He got another one this week. I don't know what's. I don't know. Maybe they're using. I think they're using play action a lot during the red zone. So, from what I've seen, and they've been like the last. They've been in a lot of the America's Game of the Week I called last week, and then they had the prime time 2 weeks ago, and I saw them a couple times. Defensive stats and top tackles. Dan Marino leads the league with 40. Assists on Clemens with 29. Tackles for loss, Luke Frankie with 12. Sacks, Roland Lenz with 15.5. And turnovers, Byron Baxter with 6. Then let's go over offense and defense. Offense. 12th place is the Houston Enforcers with the worst offense in the league. 1,707 yards. Then 11th is the Predators with 1,715 yards. Then 10th is the Visitors with 1,875 yards. Then 9th is the Natives. Whoa. I did the stats for this, but I completely forgot they were that slow. But they're 1,967 yards. 8th is the Bats, 1,981 yards. 7th is the Power, 2,096 yards. 6th is the Gale Monsters, 2,106 yards. 5th is the Fishers, 2,012 yards. No, 2,112 yards, my bad. Number 4 is, it's dark, my bad. Number 4 is LA Earthquake, 2,182 yards. Number 3 is Cleveland Pirates, actually, 2,194 yards. Number 2 is New Orleans Musicians, 202,039 yards. And number 1 is the Wind. Actually, I'm not even going to say how many yards they have anymore. I'm just going to say the numbers now. Rush offense, 12. Earthquake, 11th. Predators, 10th. Fishers, 9th. Bats, 8th. Businessmen, 7th. Pirates, 6th. Enforcers, 5th. Wind, 4th. Natives, 3rd. Musicians, 2nd. Power, 1st. Gale Monsters. Pass offense, 12th Enforcers, 11th Predators, 10th Natives, 9th Power, 8th Gila Monsters, 7th Businessmen, 6th Bats, 5th Musicians, 4th Fishers, 3rd Pirates, 2 Wind, and 1st Earthquake. Now defensively, worst defense in the league goes to 12 Wind, 11th Predators, 10th Power, 9th Fishers, 8th Bats, 7th Pirates, 6th Businessmen, 5th Gila Monsters, 4th Enforcers, 3rd Earthquake, 2nd Natives, 1st Musicians. Defensive Rush, 12th Predators, 11th Earthquake, 10th Wind, 9th Bats, 8th Power, 7th Pirates, 6th Fishers, 5th Gila Monsters, 4th Natives, 3rd Musicians, 2nd Businessmen, 1st Enforcers. Defensive Pass, 12th Wind, 11th Power, 10th Predators, 9th Businessmen, 8th Enforcers, 7th Fishers, 6th Pirates, 5th Bats, 4th Gila Monsters, 3rd Natives, 2nd Earthquake, 1st Musicians. And that is it for defense and offense. Now, to finish it off, we got the predictions, my predictions, and hot topics. And actually, I do have something else to talk about, so I'll try to make this quick. Number 7, to start off week 7, we got the Thursday night primetime New York Businessmen 3-3 going to the Seattle Natives for 3-3 for their first primetime holding of the year. So I'm just gonna go into. I've already talked about both of these teams. I think it will be a good game, but I have the Natives bouncing back. They're gonna win. My bold prediction is that Gurnett will throw 2 picks. I don't think he can play good against the good defense. I don't know. Gurnett could shock me. He goes light off, lights on from week to week, and I think it's lights off week for Gurnett. Now we got at 1 p.m. Musicians at Wind. And this one, I will give to the Musicians. Yeah. They lost to the Wind last time, but I think they have redemption round. Skies maybe has a good game. Bold prediction. This defense for the defensive will hold Willie Rogers, yes, under 100 yards. He does do a lot of damage. Not bold prediction, under 75 yards. I think they will hold Willie Rogers under 75 yards. I'm going to regret saying that. Number 10, or not number 10. The other 1 p.m. game is the Fishers at the Power. This will put ahead if the Power win this one and they end the season with the tie with the Fishers, they have went into the playoffs. They will win the tiebreaker and they will go into the playoffs. So yeah, big game here. If the Fishers win, it don't matter just who I think is the better team for the playoffs. That's how it works. So yeah, um, this is a good game. Looking at Daxon, I think he's a great game manager, but he can't score when he means the most. I think I think the Power win this one, but bold prediction: Daxon has 2 passing touchdowns in this game. That secondary for Detroit is not good. But I think it will be a pretty close game. Um maybe a score close. I'd say 7. I think it could be that close. Maybe like 24-31. I think it will be a high scoring game. But yeah, 24-31 I could see going. I don't know. Who knows what happens? Scores are whacking the JSFL. And then for 4:15, I got the Pirates at the Enforcers. Um, Pirates. I think they will start to heat up. I think this is a time where the Pirates might heat up, and maybe just maybe this would be the longest shot. I don't see it happening. The Pirates could squeak the postseason if they got like 7 wins in a row or 6 wins in a row. Enforcers they've looked sloppy and they really haven't changed my mind about anything. If I had to rank them without schedule, they would be the second worst team behind the Bats for me. Maybe even the worst. I don't know. But that defense I do like. Yeah, they've looked sloppy. Bold prediction. They'll probably sack. Probably sack Hastings over 3 times. 2 of them will probably at least be Newton Fitch. That's not that bold, but predictable. Then last 4:15 game, Earthquake at Gila Monsters. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Detroit Power and Minneapolis Fishers is the game of the week, so I'll be commentating that one. Earthquake at Gila Monsters, divisional matchup. It's gonna be Gila Monsters, no question. I don't like the Earthquake chances. Gila Monsters have been real hot lately. No one, I don't have much to say about this one. And Monday night we got the Bats at the Predators, a divisional matchup. Once again, a lot of divisional matchups in week 7. So I got this one going to my Predators. Gotta believe in the team once, But yeah, Bats not looking good. I think actually the Predators do have a good defensive game here. I say Joey Adams will have over 100 yards. That's a bold prediction. I don't think we'll be able to stop him that much. Well, yeah, I do have the Predators squeaking out that game. But that is it for my predictions, and let's get into the final. I got talking topics this time. College, we got that game. I'll do my predictions real quick. East Eagles, South Falcons. I'm not going to tell you about the players and stuff, but I'm going to because you haven't seen them yet. I do predict. Oh, let me think. I will tell you the East Eagles secondary is not good, so I'm going to go with South Falcons winning this one. And then West 49ers at North Giants. The college I played for is North, so I'm going to be ruining them. But the North Giants actually do have a great pass rush this year. Howard Butler, he's going to probably be top 2 pick. No, in the mock, I have him going number 1, and that was like 2 weeks ago I made it, so the Cleveland Pirates actually had the number 1 pick. Ooh, I mean, but the West 49, no, yeah, Jerome Allen's going to win that one. It's going to be the North Giants. I think they have a good chance of winning the College Series championship. Well, yeah, and then I think I talked about all the topics I wanted to, because I think I talked about them when talking about teams. But yeah, that is it from the JSFL. See you guys in week 7 for Thursday night prime time, where the New York Bismen will go to Seattle. I'll see you then.